Hey there, welcome. If you are ready to make the kind of money and income that you know that you're capable of without working yourself into exhaustion, you are in the right spot, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you want to be able to, basically make more cash so that you can travel, so that you can give back in the way that you really want to, so that you can take pole dancing lessons, whatever it is that you desire to do that you don't really have the energy to do right now, you don't have the financial resources to do, you don't have the peace of mind to do, right? Because you're so busy trying to figure out, well, how do I grow my business to allow myself to do that? You're going to benefit from today's training, okay? So if you've never been to one of my trainings before, my name is Desiree Stafford, and what I do basically is I show my clients how to make a lot more money and increase their impact without working themselves into exhaustion. So typically I and my clients work on average about 20 hours a week. And so I'm going to share with you today what we're doing that's different than what most of the gurus and everybody else is telling you in the marketplace. And if you're someone who feels like you're stuck at 5-figure months, you want to get to the next level, but you're afraid you're going to burn out in the process, you totally listen to everything that I have to say today. Take notes. And, this training is very important. So I'm going to ask you, if you know anyone, if you can think of anyone who would benefit from what I'm going to share today, then share this video with them or invite them to attend live, because it's important that this information get out there. Because there are way too many, ridiculously smart and talented people who have the ability, and I know that you're one of them, right? And you have the ability to help so many people, and yet you're not doing it to the level that you know that you can, because you have things that are getting in the way, right? And a large part of it is the busy work that you're doing, right? So I want to share with you how you can stop that crap so that you can actually, help people. Right? However it is that you help people. All right, so let's hop right into today's training. And let me just quickly welcome some folks. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Hind. Hey, Emily. Hey, Gina. Hey, Arch. Hey, Jordan. Hey, Heidi. How are you guys? All right, so let's go straight to it, right? The very first thing you want to do, this is critical, you want to make sure that you are selling what you were born to do to the people that you were born to serve. So what I'm talking about here is, please, 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 for the love of Pete, for the love of everything holy, right? Listen, you want to be selling what you are uniquely gifted, skilled, and talented to sell, right? Stop selling what you think you have to sell because some coach way back when told you that that's the way to make money, or because it's what got you to the level of success that you're at now, but you're feeling tired of it. You're feeling like it's no longer in alignment with who you are, right? That's a huge problem. You want to make sure that you are selling what lights you up to sell, that you are helping people experience a transformation that you're excited to help them experience. All of that stuff matters, right? That is how you can help people get predictable results, when you know that you're the best at what you do and that you're working with clients who are aligned with how you deliver your service, right? And so they understand how you explain things and they get amazing results. And then what do you think that does to your confidence? And what do you think that does to your income, right? So it's important that you get this. So if you're trying to sell a whole bunch of stuff because you think you have to, I'm here to tell you, stop doing that, right? It's a disservice to you. It's a disservice to your clients, okay? So that's important. And pardon me as I look away from my notes. So how do you do this, right? What I recommend that my clients do, and it's what I do, and I would recommend this for you as well, is you create one powerhouse offer. Now, I'm not telling you to build your entire business off one offer. We're going to talk more about this in a second. But just entertain me here, right? You want to create one powerhouse offer that is your best work. It is the highest level of transformation that you offer, right, for your ideal clients. Create one of those types of offers, okay? And when you do this the right way, you can command high fees. You can command anything from $10,000 and above, $10,000, $30,000, $50,000, whatever the number is for you, right? So once you have that offer and you start marketing that offer, and we'll talk about how to do that in the next talking point, right? You start marketing the offer, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to attract people who are not quite ideal yet, right? So they're on the continuum, right? So they're like, your ideal client is here and they're here. Right? So they're on the continuum. They have the potential to be your ideal client, but they need a little bit of support in order to become who they need to be in order to benefit from the value of your highest level transformation, your highest level package, right? So then you create a downsell to serve those folks. It's almost like an incubator. It's a program that gets them ready for that next level. And I'd recommend you do something short term. So maybe like an 8-week program, maybe a VIP day. Maybe you sell them content that you offer to just the content alone, not one-on-one time with you or access to your group coaching or whatever, that you sell to them that gets them prepared for that next level, right? And that you can sell anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000, typically, okay? And that's what you do. And then you have one other offer that you create as an upsell so that when your ideal clients, they go through that powerhouse offer, that main offer, that flagship offer that you created ideally for them, or specifically for them, I should say, you want to start thinking about what's the next level for them, right? What's the next level offer that you can create for them? And listen, you don't have to know what that is today, right? You're going to get a lot of the information that you need in order to create that offer once you start working with your ideal clients exclusively. Make sense? Okay. So that's what you want to be able to do. And if you are in a position where, you know, you don't know how to do that, like you've created a ton of offers, you get results for clients, but you still feel like there's something off. Maybe you still feel like you're not truly owning the value of what you do. Maybe you can't see it with your own eyes in order to be able to command a higher fee, and you want some support around that. I'd be happy to show you how to do that later on, okay? So I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. So the second thing you want to do, once you have that powerhouse offer, you know what your downsell is, and you can start thinking about what that upsell would look like, right? You want to make sure that your marketing is speaking directly to your ideal clients. This is a huge mistake that I see in the industry where people, as they up-level, are still doing marketing that is targeted to the people that they've outgrown. And if you've been following me for a while, if you've been on any of my other trainings before, you've heard me talk about this over and over and over again. And I talk about it over and over and over again because it's such an important topic that many people seem to overlook. There's a lot of fear when you're up-leveling, right? Listen, I know people who, and I did this myself, I'll just be fully transparent, I was making this mistake myself. You get to a certain level in your business, but there's this fear about getting to that next level. As they say, new level, new devil, right? Because all of a sudden you feel like you don't know what you're doing again. You feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know my people anymore. You know, I've got to make all of these changes. What if people don't buy? Like you go through the whole process of questioning and doubting yourself all over again, right? And it's very easy to slip back into the mode of targeting or speaking to, you know, clients that you no longer are really aligned with, that are no longer fit for you, that are not actually going to understand what it is that you're teaching at this next level. They're just not there yet, right? And if you read my post earlier this week, you know, I wrote about how you wouldn't offer graduate level classes to someone who's still a freshman in college, right? You just wouldn't do it because they don't understand what you're speaking about yet. It kind of goes over their head, right? So it's the same thing when we're talking about marketing to your ideal client now, your next level client, the people that you are now going to be serving because they're more in alignment with the new direction. I wouldn't even call it a new direction. I want to be careful about that because oftentimes when you're up leveling, it's not always a new direction, but you are being someone different, right? In order to up level, you are being someone different, and the way you communicate is different, and what you're offering in terms of a transformation might have shifted, right? So you want to make sure that your marketing now calls in the right people. Part of that is making sure that you elevate your positioning, right? You don't want to continue to talk about the same problems that you were talking about or the same challenges that you were talking about when you were trying to serve a different client, right? That means the stories in your marketing will change, all of that kind of stuff, your messaging, all of it will change, right? Sometimes it's just a tiny tweak. So this is not about throwing out the baby with the bathwater. You just need to know what the tweaks are that need to be made so that you call in the right people, okay? You also want to make sure that your marketing moves people. So remember I said that, you know, I am attracting clients and running my business in about 20 hours a week. So when I say I run my business, let me explain too. When I say that I run my business in about 20 hours a week, I'm talking about all in. I'm talking about the marketing that I do. I'm talking about the sales calls that I do. I'm talking about the conversations I have with my team. I'm talking about, you know, the delivery of my services. I'm talking about everything business related, even my personal development. I do that in about 20 hours per week, okay? So it's important that you get that because a lot of people say, well, I only work 2 hours a week. But that just means that they only deliver for 2 hours a week. They're not telling you about all the back end stuff that's going on in their business that actually takes more time than that, okay? So it's important that you also get that. Now, in order for me to make that work, my marketing has to be powerful as fuck, It has to be potent. It has to move people. And I want to stress this to you because I totally get that you love to inspire people. I totally get that you have a message of transformation and you're here to save people's lives and all this kind of great stuff. You want to make a massive impact. And so part of you feels like you have to create a ton of content that teaches people because you feel like that's the way you create real value. And I'm here to tell you that instead of just focusing on teaching people, you need to reach people. Because if you think about it, just giving people more information does not move the needle. It doesn't get them to the position of where they need to be to make the decision to change. Just more information is just more information, right? But if you're here to help someone save their marriage, if you're here to help someone lose weight, if you're here to help someone become more confident, if you're here to help someone, advance their career, if you're here to help them save their business, right? Just giving them how-tos isn't going to do it, right? They could go to Google and get all that information. They could follow all the gurus and get all of that information, right? What you need to do is make sure that your marketing actually moves them. So what I'm saying here is stop just focusing on the logical information that you're sharing with them, right? The proof, the evidence, and all that kind of stuff you're finding for them, and the step-by-step stuff you're sharing with them. You want to make sure that you get people here, right? You have to make sure that you do that. Because otherwise, they just stay where they're at. And the longer they stay where they're at, the more costly that problem becomes for them, right? And then people sink deeper into a sense of apathy and disappointment and whatever the case may be, then they don't ever get the result because they allow so much fear to take over. How can you do your job that way? How can they experience transformation, right? So you want to make sure that you're moving people. Another thing is I want to share with you is that, a lot of gurus teach you the Ascension Model. And what I'm telling you to do, what I recommend and what I recommend to my clients is that you let that go, right? That you create a program that speaks directly to your ideal client, the person that you are right now today able to serve at your highest level, okay? And then the people who show up who are not quite ideal yet, right? Then you have a downsell for those folks. So your marketing is to your specific ideal client, right? And so it's important that you understand that part of your business model and the way that we're flipping things a little bit so that when you're doing the marketing, you understand how it works. Because what you see a lot of the gurus doing, a lot of the gurus are selling these lower end products, these lower end services, right? Not speaking to their ideal client in the moment. They're speaking to their future ideal client. So they're marketing to their future ideal clients, which is why you see them selling a lot of the lower end stuff, right? And that model will take you so much fucking time and effort to get to where you need to be and to be able to facilitate the transformation that you can facilitate in people, right? So this is why I'm telling you to do it, or I'm recommending, let's put it that way. I am recommending you do it a different way. Because right now, if you're burning yourself out, think about where you're going to be in the next 3, 6, 12 months from now, right? If getting to the level of income that you're at right now, you're not happy there, is burning you out, how do you think you're going to get to that next level, right? Without having a huge team. If you don't want to have a huge team, then what I'm recommending that you do is a better way to approach things, okay? The third thing you want to do, let me pause and get something to drink and say, hey. Hey, Angelica. Hey, Alba. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Hey, Daniel. Hey, Emily. Hey, Sandra. Welcome, Jane. Welcome, Laureen. Okay, so the third thing is you want to stop trying to make sales. I know you're probably going to be like, what are you talking about? This was a huge revelation for me. I stopped trying to make sales. And if you guys have any questions about what I'm sharing and you just joined, type your questions into the Q&A or into the comment section, and I'll get to them in just a moment, okay? Stop trying to make sales. One of the biggest challenges I see people experience is when they get on this breakthrough session with someone, what they're trying to do is make the sale. And when you're trying to make the sale, guess what you do? You monitor everything that you say. You're basically tiptoeing around the prospect, right? There are questions that you have to ask a prospect, places where you want to probe more, where your natural curiosity, where your intuition leads you, and you ignore it because you're afraid if you say the wrong thing, you're going to piss somebody off and you're not going to get the sale, right? That's why you're not getting the fucking sales. Because what needs to happen in those conversations is that you need to be telling people the truth. You need to, number one, diagnose what the actual problem is, because people are coming to you, they're getting on your phone only knowing the symptom of their problem, not truly understanding the actual cause of the problem, okay? So if you're afraid to say what needs to be said in that conversation, you're doing a disservice to yourself and you're doing a disservice to your prospect. Now, also, what I want you to recognize is that if you are afraid to tell people the truth in your discovery sessions or in your breakthrough sessions, whatever you call them, if you're afraid to tell people the truth, you really want to pay attention to that, because we are who we are everywhere we are. So if you're afraid of that level of intimacy with your prospects, how do you think you're showing up in other relationships? How do you think you're showing up with your clients? How do you think you're showing up with your partner? How do you think you're showing up with your kids or your friends, right? So it's important that you understand why you need to make this shift, right? Why you need to be willing to tell people the truth. If you're not getting your needs and your wants met in other areas of your life, check into what you're doing on your sales calls, okay? Now, second thing is, oh, actually, let me give you a story really quickly. I had a client who, she said to me, and it humbled me when she said this to me, trust me, because when I tell you I love what I do, this is my heart's work, okay? I love what I do. I love to help women who are basically hiding in plain sight finally step the fuck up, right? And be who they really are meant to be, and on top of that, get paid for it, get paid really well for it, right? So I had a client who said to me that our breakthrough session was one of the most important conversations of her life. 6 weeks later, she made almost double in 6 weeks than she had in the previous year, okay? That's a massive transformation. And on top of that, now she gets to model for her kids what it looks like to be successful and not have to hustle 24/7, right? So I know the value of these conversations, and when I totally understood that, it changed everything for me, right? And when you understand that for yourself, it will change everything for you too. You will lean back more. You won't be trying to make the sale. And actually the natural outgrowth of the conversations that you're having will be more sales when you tell people the truth, right? That's why that conversation was so valuable to her, because I told her the truth, stuff that she needed to hear. So that would make the difference. That would help her break the patterns, which gets me to another point. You want to be breaking people's patterns in your sessions, right? Listen, one of the reasons why so many people suffer from sales that don't stick, or they get clients who are not getting results, right? Or their clients are not getting results, or they're backing out of the programs, whatever the case may be. They're not completing the programs in full. A lot of that has to do with your client's beliefs, right? So if you're in a sales conversation with someone, you don't want to just get the credit card, right? What you actually want to be doing in that conversation is have or create a true conversion, which means that you're helping your clients disregard their disempowering beliefs and adopt your empowering beliefs, right? Because if they do not change their belief system, then they cannot get results. It's why when they get off the phone with you, they go back into fear and panic mode, right? You don't want that. You want a person who gets off the phone with you feeling fucking excited. Does that mean fear will never come up? Of course it will. Even throughout your engagement with them, fear will come up, right? But they'll be much more ready and prepared to propel or to push through that fear and get the actual results if you do it right from the very beginning. This is why my clients come into my programs. They get results within the first 4 to 6 weeks, where they've been in programs for a year before, and we're not getting the kind of results that they see with me in that short period of time because of what's happening in the sales call. Stop waiting until the actual program begins to think that's when you're going to help people get results. People are fucking scared, especially when they're investing in a high-level program, especially when they've tried and failed before, right? So you need to know how to help people experience a true conversion on your calls. The third piece of this is that you need to make sure that you're assessing the fit. Not every client is your client. They're just not, right? You need to learn how to have some boundaries around who you're letting into your programs and who you're not, especially if you're offering intimate types of programs, right, where it matters, the energy that's coming into the container, right? You want to make sure that you're assessing the fit. Are the clients that you're signing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually ready to do the work and get the transformation that they can experience? Right? These are the things that you want to be focused on. And you can't focus on any of these things if you're obsessed with trying to make the sale. If you do everything else I just shared with you, guess what? People will not only ask you for the sale, but they'll thank you for it, right? Because the experience will be so powerful and so transformational for them that they will actually thank you for it. I cannot tell you how many times I've had people thank me for the sale. Got it? All right, so I hope you guys got some value out of what I shared. So I'm going to open up for questions in just a moment. If anyone has any questions that you haven't shared, go ahead and share them in the comment section right now so I can go through and answer them. Hey, Lisa. I'm so right. Oh, wait, you got that right? Okay, cool. Tell me what I got right. I want to expand on that for you. So yeah, if you have questions, put them into the comment section. By the way, I mentioned to you earlier that if you need some help, or if you want some help with, creating higher end offers, typically I'm teaching my clients how to sell anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 programs. So if you're wanting some support on, how do you put a program like that together? And then how do you do the marketing that moves the right people, right? So that they get on the phone with you, they're pre-sold, they want to work with you, they ask you for the sale. If you want some support around that, go to DesireeStafford.com/session and sign yourself up for a breakthrough session with me. Cool? All right. Now, who has questions? Because this is such an important topic. We're a little bit over, but I'm gonna stay available for 5 more minutes to answer questions. So hit me. Let me scroll back up and see if I missed anything. Hey, Aska, how are you? Hey, Julianne, how are you? Is it Kimberly? If that's right, welcome. Yes, catch the replay, Lisa. If anybody's joining now and you missed what I shared in the beginning, go back and catch the replay. What we talked about today was basically, how I and my clients are scaling our businesses. I was stuck at 5-figure months for the better part of a year. Now, actually more than that. And I was not happy. So I figured out what I needed to do to scale my business, obviously to 6-figure months. And now I'm doing it, and I'm putting in a lot less effort than I was putting in before. I typically work 20 hours a week, okay? And when I say work, I'm talking about all in. I'm talking about marketing. I'm talking about sales. I'm talking about delivering my services to my clients, all of that kind of stuff. Cool? All right. So who has questions? I shared a lot of stuff. All right. So Julianne says, have 3 clients interested, but say they can't afford it. You really need these clients. Okay, so if there are 3 clients who are telling you that that they can't afford it, what is that? That's a pattern, right? If there was 1 client, I'd say something else, but this sounds like a pattern to me. So what I would recommend is that you check in with yourself to see where you believe that what you're offering is not really worth what you're charging, right? Because people are our mirrors. They're reflecting back to us what we actually think. So are you feeling that maybe, the value isn't there? Maybe you're scared to receive whatever your price, your program price is, right? Check in with yourself around that, because you want to break the pattern. What else you want to do is understand that when someone says that they can't afford it, it's not about the money. There's somewhere where they're not seeing the value, or they're not believing that they're going to get the results. Not necessarily because they don't trust you, but it could be because they don't trust themselves, right? So these are some of the things that you want to consider so that you can figure out how to support your people through that objection, right? Because an objection basically is a person's disempowering belief. It's the way that they typically stop themselves from getting the result that they want, right? But if you're attracting people who are constantly giving you that specific objection, that pattern is something that's stemming from you. So you want to look within to figure out what that's about. Make sense? Okay, cool. Anyone have any other questions before I wrap up? Listen, people pay me a pretty penny for what I've just shared with you guys today. And they ask me a hell of a lot more questions than you guys are asking. So ask while you have me. And again, if you want some support with your offers, with your marketing, with your sales, go to DesireeStafford.com/session to sign up for a free breakthrough session with me so I can walk you through how to do this better. All right? Because obviously what we're talking about today, we spent about 20 minutes together today. It's high-level stuff. It's not dialed into you and your unique business. So if you want to be able to get faster results, then it would be better for us to have a one-on-one conversation. Cool? All right. Anyone else with any questions before I wrap up? I think my computer's frozen, to be quite frank. Okay, wait. So Julianne says, wait. Now the questions are pouring in. Wait. So Lisa Scott says, you got it right that your services aren't for everyone. Exactly, right? All right, so Emily, it's all straightforward and clear. That's why I don't have any questions. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Julianne says, okay, thanks. I think I need to believe I am worth it. Absolutely. That's where it starts, right? Okay, so Emma, for putting together a high-end offer over 50K, do you need to have a structured program, or can it be more on-demand support? It depends. Like, what do you do, Emma? right? It really depends. It depends on whatever your process is that's going to help your clients get the biggest result in the shortest amount of time. How do you do that, right? I don't know how you do that. Without knowing what your process looks like, it's hard for me to give you an answer on that because it can look different for different people, right? Okay, awesome. Does anyone have any other questions before I wrap up? We're at our last moment here, okay? All right, if you do have any questions from this point forward, just type it into the comment section and tag me, and then I'll come back and respond to you, all right? So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of what I shared here today. I would also invite you to share it with people that you know that could benefit from it. And until we speak again, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and in your business. Take care.